Thanks, Simon.
So,
Event planning, we're
Yep.
talking about needing the links. We meet on Monday mornings at 3 p.m. weekly.
Yep. That's 3 p.m. UTC. Yep, that's right. And events happen periodically, generally monthly, and they're wonderful to attend and participate in. Here we go. Maybe anyone got any more else to say about this slide?
We're good.
Okay. Okay. And I talked about this, but I didn't give you this slide. The Gimbal token and project-based learning through Gimbal Labs, a subgroup. That also is associated with a meeting that happens on Friday. I believe it's around the same time. We do have a calendar, which is a great thing to get involved with the community because you can see when our weekly events happen, and that link can be shared. It's just a Google Calendar. Anyone have more to say about the GT and D work experience? Because this next slide is you can get Gimbal tokens and be involved with this new economy of the gig economy of D work, which is basically tasks and bounties. It sort of comes from the open source bounty system where you can participate in a community through these small tasks. Just very soon after this event, or maybe during the event, we can set up a bounty for participation in this event. Anyone more on bounties?
So maybe if you just do a stop share for a second, and then we'll do a quick screenshot. And do we have everybody on here? Yes, we do. If you feel like just coming off your slides there, if you can, we'll just, yeah, you know what, just take a screenshot.
Here we go. Okay.
Got it? Good,
all
good.
right, hold on. We're gonna go.
Then we got a record of.
I got it.
Okay, we got a record of names and stuff. So then now we can go back to it. We'll do this each time. Again, Gimbal tokens are not connected to fiat, and we're using them within a circle economy within Project Catalyst. So sorry, Robert and Mohammed, this is probably going to be a lot of overwhelming information, but here we are. Okay, back to this.
And I can share my screen again. Here we go. All right. Let's see what is next.
Yoram's up, where we are in Project Catalyst.
Okay, so we finished the flagging process. The community was very active in the flagging, and actually we created, there was a kind of a joint document where we shared information about some PAs that didn't, that were bot PA basically, kind of suspected PAs, and we share it together with the Catalyst organization. So this process finished today, and from tomorrow we'll start a 2 weeks process of VPAs, okay, which called here still VCAs, but normally it's VPA, they changed the name, which is verification of proposal analysis or proposal assessment. Yeah, so it's going to be 2 weeks by community members, which has kind of already been through the process many times. And after that, basically what this process is going to do is going to take out some of the PA's assessment that were not done based on the PA guidelines, and that were flagged also by the proposals. And after this process, we will have the final rating of our proposals and ready to go into the voting process, right? That will start, yeah, in a few weeks from now. So, yeah, so from our perspective, what does it mean? It means that we change the switch now from supporting the proposals to see how we group together in order to promote the proposals to voters and get as many voting as possible for impact-driven proposals. And that's the process that we are doing now. Yeah.
So I dropped some links in the chat here. They may be helpful. There's an intro to Project Catalyst from Mohammed and Robert. And there's also a proposal template by Felix. So it may be an idea of, you know, if you're going to start doing any kind of proposals or thinking about this, it's a template to look at it. If you're a veteran, I'm not sure what we call this, a VPA, Veteran Proposal Assessor.
VPA, yeah.
Okay, and there's
Yeah.
Telegram chat that you can join in there. Yeah, more information. If anybody needs any of these links, just let us know. I think that's probably enough information so that you're not too overwhelmed, especially when you're new to this. You're up again, Yoram, for promoting impact proposals.
Yeah, so what we did, we started, I mean, Melanie kind of initiated and was pushing for that, and it grew from there. And today we gathered together a database of 200 impact-driven proposals for Fund 9. And that gave us a couple of strengths. First of all, we're able to show to the Cardano community the importance of the community and the impact-driven community we have here. Second, it gave us last week already a good place where Melanie and myself, we presented in the town hall, and you know how impactful is the community. And the way we are presenting it is very important. We present it as an opportunity for the Cardano blockchain. Okay, so this impact-driven community is an opportunity to combine this new technology, which is decentralized, transparent, traceable, verification, all these different elements, put them together in order to basically give answers to key challenges we have today and models we have today. And that's really a huge, huge opportunity for Cardano. Probably the biggest opportunity Cardano has today. So this is the way we are presenting it. And through creating this database, we started also to create interaction with voter tools. So lead donation, which we see now, we basically already integrated, thanks to our work in the process. When you go in and you go to the voting tool, we don't see it here in this slide, but you go to the voting tool, you can actually choose already impact proposal. Okay, and so it makes it easy for impact-driven voters to find the impact proposals. And now we are adding some more filters to that, like challenges, or if it's social or environmental and so on. So that's one, and the same is happening with AIM voting tools, where we are going to have a database of the impact proposal categorized by challenge. And then we're also able to build on AIM what we call pick lists. So different pick lists that we can promote to different impact proposals. So I think this promotion then enable us again to continue and promote it to the Cardano Foundation, to IOG, to all of these parties as well as to voters, as well as between us. I mean, if we see the list, each one of us that all the ADA, and see, okay, which other impact proposal we want to support, right? It's make it easier for us to support the impact proposal each one of us wants to support. And yeah, and hopefully we will all support each other on that process. So that's really, I think it's a great work. And another thing it's enabled the database, just to add on that, it's enabled collaboration between the proposals, right? So we can see other projects, related projects we can collaborate with. And that's also, you know, I think very helpful to create more impact. Yeah.
So next slide just shows, you know, different opportunities for people with proposals to present, to promote them. Lido Nation has a Twitter space, 2 p.m. UTC every Friday, and you can sign up to it. I've dropped a link in there for the voter tool. I'm not sure if that's a pick list or not on there, but you can find the voter tool through that, and some other links. And then happening right now is our Emergo Fund 9 Proposers Meet. We'll be there tomorrow sometime around 2:30 p.m. UTC, I believe, representing Cardano for Climate. More information on this Twitter So it is happening right now. And in our Telegram chat, you'll find information on that as well. Robert and Mohammed will drop those links in too. Sorry to give you so much, throw so much information at you, but you know, the idea is you click on a link, save those tabs, and then connect if you feel inclined to connect. We definitely don't want to overwhelm, but that seems to happen. So the agenda for today, as you can see in the Emergo event, we had Little Fish showing, and then there's tomorrow as well. I'm trying to stay ahead.
Oh, this one's for tomorrow. This
Yeah,
one's,
so 2:20 p.m. right after the intro, we get to showcase, and we have, I think, about 8 proposals, several challenge setting proposals. So there's a lot going on. Very
and then our
interesting.
next one.
And I don't know if George is here or not to explain this. We have a collaboration with Conma, and I've spent a few days in Conmaverse, and I think it's kind of fun. It's like a game in a way to join this, but this is a group of impact-driven people that have it all figured out. Huge group. And this pitch ground allows proposers to present their pitch. I think it's already filled up. We have given them the list of 180. They're actually reaching out to each one of those proposers to see if they'll join. And they're also asking us to send representatives from Cardano for Climate, the community who would like to be there to on the panel that helps work this. And that's happening up. It's coming up really quick, 23rd to the 26th. So, and what they do with these proposers is they take them right through. Maybe Newman, you share some more on this.
Right. Well, they have a wide community. I think it's focused on India. That's how I got to know them. And the student population there. And in this move, the general move from Web 2.0 to the blockchain. Robert, you may have, they're doing the same thing. They've got startups that are sort of in the 2.0 world and are trying to work into a decentralized, sovereign space. But they're very, very wide and big thinking, and it's been going on for a while.
3 years.
Yeah.
3 years that they've been working on this, and this is coming together absolutely beautifully. So the more we can get involved with them, absolutely.
And what they're doing in this instance, and the ask for us as C4C community is to sort of bring our environmental impact, and they have an environmental sort of sensibility, but to bring our perspectives to them, and to sort of be an active, partner in this pitch ground through Project Catalyst. And
there's George. George is here. So maybe,
hey.
George, do you want to just fill us in a little bit from, George actually came through Cardano for Climate and ended up connecting with Conma. So he feels like he's our spokesperson for us, and vice versa. So very nice to see you. Is it possible to talk?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm looking at.
Morning.
George is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, thanks for.
Hey, George.
Yeah. Here, I have sent the link for the project page ground, the project list that has been shortlisted, and yeah. So this is the current tentative list that from the impact. That was a huge list, Melanie. It was, and the team reached out and they were able to get this specific list. Approximately, we are seeing eight projects per day, and over the coming week. So it'll be an exciting opportunity to hear the pitches and to hear from the specific teams or how they want to connect to the voters. This is kind of the last step in that process before the voting stage starts. So we really look forward to the pitches and look forward to hear more from each of these teams. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Sorry, I believe Vinay is going to send out a sign-up sheet for moderators or for the people that will help be on stage, so to speak.
That's right. So we'll be trying to have a group from each team and bring in specific category experts in some scenarios so that we have a uniform representation and as well as guidance for these features so that they can give to the different teams specific improvements they can consider as they take the voting, as they take it to the voting, and look forward to that too. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting session, and this is our first pitching session we are putting through the Conmoverse. So definitely something we are looking forward to.
Yeah, and same, George, this is fantastic. So if anybody wants to sign up or attend, we'll keep dropping information for this and follow the Twitter space, I believe, for more information on that one. Fabulous.
Yeah, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. And that's an example of these pitch grounds that are happening. The sort of the granddaddy of them all, the originator, was this idea called Idea Fest from the Swarm, and that one is going on the following week, July 30th and 31st at 7 p.m. And then we have a couple of other ones. Cardano TV. If you don't, does anybody have anything else on Swarm's Idea Fest, which is another pitch ground?
You'll hear more information, I hope, at Town Hall today about that, but go ahead. Yep.
Okay, and then Cardano TV is somebody that we found, Tran, who does interviews. If you have a proposal, you can contact her and she will put you on the air on YouTube. And our own Impact Fest, which will happen August 11th, and a similar thing, gathering presentations from proposers and discussing. And that will happen on August 11th at 1700 UTC. And you can.
We need help with this one. This one, and thanks, Tom, for dropping that in after Town Hall. But we need help on this event. As you can see, we're not event planners and event hosts, but anybody that can help us with this would be greatly appreciated, because this is going to be, the big one, the big push before voting happens on August 11th. It's taking the Idea Fest that Swarm started with and focusing exactly on impact. And the format will be, we don't know exactly what the format for this will be, but any kind of suggestions or help. We do meet on Mondays. Next Monday is going to be the last one before our Carbon and Cardano event for planning, but we're already starting to plan this one. So again, any help, and Brian, I see you nodding your head, so I'm going to assume that you're going to jump in and help us on that one.
Oh, okay.
But anyways.
That would be great.
I guess what would you like me to do?
What's that?
What would you like me to do?
It's going to be whatever you feel inclined to do. That's the way we work. So, yeah.
Well, there's all kinds of things to do for the event. We are currently looking for someone that does marketing, like to manage the social media, and then also media generation. If you've got a design background, to create the brochures and the memes supporting the event. There's like chat moderators and things that happen during the event. If you're a data guy, then collecting and analyzing the feedback and getting, so that we can iterate into a better process. And then there's, speaking and participating. Yeah, but there's lots of things to be done. Come to one of our events, and then we will jump in and discuss.
Okay.
Awesome.
You're join on Monday, or also you can. I posted a link in the chat. These are the tasks for our event. A lot of. Oh, sorry.
There you
Task backlog. It was the wrong one. I gotta. I'm gonna send the right one in a minute.
Okay.
There'll be a gazillion links in here because I have the opportunity to copy and paste and have this set up. So, so today we're going to go into, Dylan is in down south, and typically this time of the day is he should be sleeping. So this is one of the ideas, Brian, that we had with these videos, that having a 1, 2, or 3 minute video with the proposals gives us the opportunity to have the slide deck arranged and organized, and anybody can go through it, and it's all organized. So this is what we have. Newman, if you want to go ahead and play the recording.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Dylan, a chemical engineer and CEO of Algae Token. It is our responsibility to make the world a livable place. With your support, we can build a sustainable world by providing real-world solutions to climate issues, food shortages, all linked to the Cardano blockchain. Token founders have over 15 years' experience in delivering commercial algae farms worldwide. Algae Token aims to educate the global community about algae and its merits, and how Algae Token will benefit from on-chain development. This project will enable physical solutions and physical products connected to the Cardano blockchain. Also, we will educate people on how practical algae cultivation.
Sorry, that was me. I muted you, Newman, because I hear this.
And also improve nutrition for the world's population. Make this smaller. Algae Token aims to create modern, sustainable farming systems that provide the highest yield, nutritional dense food on the planet, microalgae. With amazing nutritional properties, bringing algae into mainstream can help with many current and emerging global problems. Health-related issues to diet and malnutrition. It's the best source of protein and omega-3, and this production method reduces the need to harvest the oceans and its fish. Algae absorbs massive amounts of CO2, helping to reduce global warming. They even have the potential to replace fossil fuels in the future. Now, Algae Token has 6 catalyst proposals. Algae Token, a sustainable future, profitable production integration, service and product DAO development, ESG reporting mechanism, legal and financial standards, sustainable ecosystem hub. World solutions to climate issues. Algae Token proposes to enable the following. Education. This includes videos, animations, and infographics on the benefits of algae and blockchain integration, ESG, environmental, social, and governance reporting mechanisms, the metrics, methodologies, and validation to this process. This includes carbon credits and helping Cardano to reach a net zero carbon output. The characterization of a legal framework, token classifications, the creation of legal entity and social impact entities. This proposal will help to establish the legal and financial framework to operate successfully on the Cardano network. DAO creation and governance. Algae Token will create an on-chain marketplace, allowing purchases of health products, nutraceuticals, plant-based proteins, and social services, DApp and smart contract implementation, supply chain tracking and quality control. Web3 website integration will allow token holders to interact with dApps and smart contracts through the website, allowing product purchases, orders, logistics, and governance voting. The internal core team allocation, no overlaps in project time. This means that we can successfully do all proposals. We'd like to thank GeniusX for their support with development, Cardano for Climate, Sustainable ADA, Blockchain Learning Center, Climate Neutral Cardano, and the Blockchain and Climate Institute. Thank you for your time and good luck everyone with your proposals.
There we go.
All right.
Sorry, Newman, I muted you for a second there because I heard you typing, and then it
Yeah.
obviously mutes the sound from the video, but I did drop the link into the Loom presentation plus all the proposals. And so this is what we have. If you go to the next slide, Newman.
Okay.
You know,
Wait a minute.
yep. That's what happens when you click on it. There we go. So as
There we go.
Cardano for Climate, we've got this list of 190 proposals. Yoram likes to round them up to 200. There's probably another 10 out there. I don't know, but I've been spending too many hours looking at these. And this is a presentation that we have, a little video. Dylan has several proposals. We've set it up this way. We're missing some sort of vetting in this because we have community giving us these proposals. We don't know for sure if they're environmental or social impact. We're trusting that they are, but if the community can come along and check this out, and this is what we're hoping to do today at some point, a little playing and a little working. So algae token, we've got problem, solution, and the links in each slide. If you don't mind just going through the slides here, just relatively slowly.
Okay.
So we've got the problem statement, solution, the challenge that it's in, and the title. If I found a logo, it's got a logo on it. Next slide.
Okay. Can we pause here for just a second, because this
Please.
was talking about that. Is that okay?
Absolutely, Newman. I love this when you do
Because this is talking about the reporting mechanism that Robert and Yoram asked about, and these, it would be great if to sort of dig into this. You know, we've highlighted this as a topic, so you know others in the community are focused in on it, and it's a topical thing. Just so that we circle back. Okay.
And next.
There we go.
So these are the topics, the proposals that Dylan, if you want to say anything about them, please do, Newman. But let's, yeah.
Sure. Yep. Okay. Here we go. Next one is profitable product integration. Let's just read the. The problem here is there's a lack of real-world product integration with blockchain technology, which is exactly what, again, the new Robert who came in was just like, this is exactly what people are trying to figure out. And in that transition from Web 2 to Web 3, we've got this technology that's now, a teenager at what, at the most 10 years old, and sort of Cardano has been around since 2017, I think. So we're a solution looking for, or we're a solution and problem trying to find each other. So that's what I think of this one. Anyone have anything else on this one, or should we go on to the next one?
You can go ahead.
Okay. Service and product DAO development. There are currently no DAOs that have services and physical products. So that was speaking with Dylan, that this physical product and blockchain connection, and then that's sort of the gist of this one. All right. let's go on to the next one. The Sustainable Ecosystem Hub. Community generally lack education on alternative options for positive choices on Cardano that have a positive impact on health and the environment. They'll build a community hub providing educational videos and infographics on sustainable business models with real-world solutions to climate issues, encouraging onboarding to the Cardano ecosystem. You know, the Cardano ecosystem is the sustainable blockchain. You know, that's why there's so many sustainable impact, you know, environmental impact, social impact projects here, is because that's sort of the vision from the blockchain itself. So this is their project for that. Here we go. Next one. Okay, so those were the algae token, but you know, Dan and I think it's Urdo or the other. There's another algae rhythm. I would love to hear some algae talk. Just we've talked so much about algae.
Can you refresh? Can you refresh just stop sharing and refresh? Because I actually just slipped the slides in for algae rhythm and for Brian,
Okay.
connecting tabletop. And Yoram, if you could just give me the title of any slide that you might want to slip in here. I'll try and get it into the deck after these. You just go ahead. So right now we have Brian up. This is kind of spontaneous. It's better if you sign up through the form and do this, but you know what? We're small enough that we can do this. We're not the big town hall. So next slide, Newman, should be
Which slide number?
36 now. Connecting tabletop games and
Oh, nice. Okay, here we go.
Yoram, you give me, just let me work in the background and I'll see if I can get the rest set up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I need to send you the link to my slides.
No, okay, and that's
oh.
it. So this is what we have as a group for this 190 proposals.
Oh, okay.
Pretty basic, pretty simple, but maybe you can talk to it and drop a link into your slides.
Sure.
Yeah. And Dan, did you have some, or is it Hugo or Dan for algae rhythm?
I think we're both here.
Okay, that sounds like Dan.
Yeah,
that's me.
Hugo's
Dan,
here
sorry.
too.
Perfect.
Hi,
Did you have
everyone.
a question?
So far, no. I mean, we can go circle back to the algae talk later, but
For sure, I see somebody's hand up. It looks, I'm not sure who it is, but hands up. So I thought we just.
It was me that I was trying to say hi. Sorry.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we do have slides. We do have slides for you right after Brian's. If you want to talk to him or send links, you know, use this time. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I'm already in contact with the algae token team. We've known each other since the last fund also. So yeah, it's I think I even told them to reach out to you in the very early beginning when they came to Catalyst. So I'm very happy to see that it all played out beautifully.
Perfect.
So yeah, I'm tracking their proposals.
Yeah, this is what it's about. So let's give Brian the time up. Newman, is this, you've got the slides?
This is Brian's slides. I can just show them. Brian, if you'll be brief, we'll just keep your slides up there. That'd be great.
Sure.
Excellent.
So, hi everyone. Thanks for having me here. My name is Brian Lee. I am representing Frostlord Games and Gaia Stake Pool. I'm pleased to present our Project Catalyst proposal, connecting tabletop games in Cardano. And this proposal is to get funding for the production of our first tabletop card game called Captivate Cardano Edition. So we can go to the next slide. So the team members are myself and my wife, Lisa. We both have a background in games, just from a player perspective. I have a background in art and design. I worked at a company called Art Attack for 7 years. We manufactured mini golf courses and laser tag arenas. So I have entertainment industry experience. And Lisa focuses a lot on giving me critical feedback and testing the game. So she's been very helpful there. Go to the next slide. So this card game, because we have a connection to our staked pool Gaia, we wanted to make it a sustainable card game. So we're trying to use as little plastic as possible in the production of the game, using FSC certified paper, so paper that comes from responsible forests. That's not really an industry standard at all. And whenever possible, using recycled materials. It's not really very available right now, unfortunately, but we'd like to make that a possibility. We want to have some innovation where we have paper booster packs for cards in the future instead of foil, which is super wasteful. It just gets thrown in the garbage. And then we also want to donate a portion of sales to reforestation and ocean cleanup projects to help have a good environmental impact that way as well. So next slide. So, so these are a couple examples of the cards. Just a basic overview of what they look like. The art is in the middle. You've got your card value in the top left and bottom right corners. And then you have power dots on each side of the card. So these are basically ways of comparing which card can flip another card over. Then you can capture those cards by placing other cards on top of them. There's also 4 suits or elements in the game. And so matching suits have different advantages for flipping cards as well. So if we could go to the next slide, please. So here's just a quick gameplay example. So you'll see the 4 elements or suits. So if you compare the rat, which is Charles Hoskinson here, so he can flip the frog when comparing power dots in this example, but he wouldn't be able to flip the frog based on point value because the frog is actually higher. So depending on where you're placing your cards on each of the, because you can place them on each of the 4 sides, right? You can actually flip in different patterns. So there's some strategy involved there. Go to the next slide. So each player starts with a hand of 5 cards. The top card of the deck is flipped over to start the game. And then if we just go to the next slide, please. So then players take turns playing cards in clockwise direction. Any cards that are flipped can be captured with a card from your hand, so placing it on top of that card that you flipped over. You can't capture cards that you have just played in a turn. So that kind of gives your opponents a chance to also potentially capture those cards. Gameplay stays within a 4x4 grid for a standard game size. At the end of your turn, you draw your hand back up to 5 cards. And at the end, when there's no more cards to be drawn from the deck, there's a last round where you have a chance to play all the remaining cards in your hand. And if you can't, then those cards count against you. And then you score up, and whoever has the highest total point value wins.
That's great.
And then we just have our estimated budget here. Most of the budget is in manufacturing and production costs, just because that's the biggest expense with making a physical product. And then the rest are split up here between shipping the product here, marketing it, and legal fees, and then tax as well.
Next slide.
Yeah, sorry.
Sure.
And then we are also trying to connect gamers to Cardano through this game, not just by theming the game. So this version is Cardano themed, but we'd also like to do a cryptozoology themed version. So like with Sasquatch and Mothman, because we have a podcast about that. So we want to connect that as well. And then have a fantasy themed game as well. And then these different themes can actually be played against each other. So you can have different teams based on that. And so you can kind of connect different play groups together, right? And then we also have digital versions of the cards that delegators can get for staking to our stake pool. And then if they collect a full set of those cards, they can redeem it for a premium printed version of the game. So it'd be an all foil version of the game. And that wouldn't be for sale. So that'd be the only way they could get it. So kind of that rarity aspect. And then we would have information cards as well with scannable QR codes, just as a way for people to learn more about certain projects on Cardano, like Veritree and the Cardano Forest, the Cardano blockchain itself, ADA Pay, because we're going to be taking payment for the game through ADA Pay. So if people want to pay with ADA, that's a possibility. So just trying to advertise your Cardano that way and to connect people a little bit more.
Oh, is that it?
That's it. Yep. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, Brian. That's pretty awesome for putting you on the spot like that. Yeah, fabulous. So yeah, Newman, I've added some more in, some more slides. If you just refresh the deck, next one up will be Dan and Algae Rhythm. And then we've got Earth Trust and Environmental Oracle. And I believe that one has a video that goes with it.
Just 1 second, I have a question.
Yep, Simon, yep.
Which is, first of all, how do I get in contact with you? Do you have Discord or something?
I do, yeah. I've got a Discord for our games company here. I'll just drop a link. You can also reach out to me on Twitter as well. So I'll just drop a few links in the chat.
Oh, perfect. So, and the other question is, have you seen the Kaleidoscope paper already?
I have not.
All right, so I'll drop you a link to that. This is something I'm working on with another group. We're building a poker deck, and the Kaleidoscope paper is about having the cards being handled in a decentralized manner. So you don't need a server that is running the randomization and such.
That's very interesting.
Cool.
I'd like to check that out.
This is what we need, is the connection and the collaboration to stop reinventing the wheel, right? Maybe making things easier for each other. Fabulous. Thank you, Simon. Awesome.
All right.
So Dan, you're going to be up. If you'd like to speak to your proposal, we just have your slide. We're already at 5 after the hour, so we may not be able to show you slide decks.
That's okay. I mean, I haven't prepared anything. I'm just gonna wing it. So what we see as—
Sorry,
yeah.
Dan, there is one more
Yeah.
slide. It was a slide from your proposal. Would that be helpful to show it?
Yeah, sure. I can work with that.
It's the next slide, Newman.
This one?
Yeah, perfect. I mean, you can go back to the problem statement and the solution. You can start there and then
Here we go.
continue with that. Perfect. Thanks. So the problem that we and probably many of you see is the destruction of the biospheres, and we have somewhat a similar approach, or a similar we want to tackle a similar solution as the algae token. We're just doing it a little bit differently, but there are a lot of synergies to leverage in case we get funded. And also if we don't get funded, but we'll talk about that later. So our solution, our proposed solution, is to have a complex of a digital service provider that is using energy and generating income. And this energy comes from the other side of the complex, which is the microorganism farms, in our case, algae. And these algae take this funding and create more sustainable and closed loop system of algae production farms to create food, to create in a natural way O2, and to sequester CO2. And we want to build it in a way that is incentivized by an impact depth. And this impact depth will, this impact depth, can you show the next slide and I can talk about it?
Sure.
What this impact depth will do. So this impact depth will allow the prosumer, we don't call it users, we call it prosumers, to aggregate an impact score by using this digital service. In our case, it will be a search engine, much like Ecosia, that's planting trees, but we will plant algae. So he can aggregate the score without creating any kind of blockchain seed phrase or DApp account or anything. Once he has a certain amount of score that he can actually do something with it, this prosumer can decide to open up a DApp account, at which point we can guide him through the process with the idea behind that the motivation will be big enough to pay enough attention to do it properly. Once this account is created, there's a very simple action that can be done, that is to get giveaway tickets for ADA raffles. Sorry, guys. And the second part, which is a little bit more elaborate and a bit more complex, is the idea of impact challenges. An impact challenge, as you can see here, for example, is something like who can create the most impact in the next 72 hours, or what NFT community can create the most impact in the next 24 hours. And then these communities can advertise their impact challenges on their network, and people can go and use this digital service to create impact, which is tracked by the app. And when they the community that creates the challenge can lock a certain amount of ADA in this programmer validator or smart contract, and people can participate it. And once someone has successfully reached the challenge or the timer runs out, you can also say create this amount of impact. They can access the validator and get the locked ADA out. Yeah, that's basically the idea of this impact app and what we're trying to do.
Wow. Wow, thank you, Dan. So Dan, you would be considered a Web3 developer?
No. I used to be a business analyst. So I'm interfacing between developers and ideas and businesses and clients and whatever. So we are still looking for a full stack developer, and ideally later on also, because this depth requires not in the alpha, but once we get to the part of the challenges, requires a lot of Pluto's knowledge. So we're still looking. If anyone knows, I still have 2 more checkpoints to go through. Someone suggested me to look there for developers. So all hope is not yet lost. And also what I want to say is Ugo and I, we're organizing the Cardano Berlin meetup in August. And we want to make it a Cardano for climate and algae focused theme. And obviously, yeah, if you guys want to present something and also algae token, let's discuss how and to what extent. It will be somewhere, I think, on the 2nd week or the 1st week of August, but I'll let you know as soon as I have a specific date.
And you'll advertise that in our Telegram channel, right?
Please do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
so
for sure.
just keep us in the loop on that and reach out for that I'm just putting the Telegram chat in for anybody else that wants to join us. This is the channel that we're most active on. Bruno, you had your hand up for a second there. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering if Dan had a Telegram for me to reach him on. Because I'm
Dan,
quite interested in
Yeah.
Cardano meetup, something I'd really love to go to, and also hopefully, I don't know if Empower will be willing to, I don't know, sponsor it in any way or something like this. I'll definitely speak to the team. We have some people in Berlin, but we have most of the team in Amsterdam, which is like around the corner. You know, I think.
Perfect.
So yeah,
I think I
hopefully
have you on Discord, but I just post my Twitter handle real quick in here so you can add me. Or did you say what yours was?
I can drop mine in the chat now. So yeah. Cool. Okay. Cool. Got
it's something to remember when you're presenting your proposal on Zoom or any of these things, to have your links ready to share, and don't be afraid to spam our channels with these links, because this is how we connect, and this is how in the end we end up making impact. So greater impact because we've connected. So thank you for that.
Thank you for letting us present. Much appreciated as always.
And Dan, I heard you are looking for developers. So I have there is a secret group of developers coming up. So that integrated. So if you need developers, there might be connection also to make.
Nice.
So some new developers coming into the ecosystem.
You're amazing.
So
Thanks.
This really brings up my point of Scott Poynton. It's going to be the next presentation coming up. Says that climate change is a failure in cooperation. We're fighting over limited resources. Plutus developers are limited resources. What if we can get them working on the same stuff that works for everybody? Imagine that we share these resources. This is my dream world, that we can connect and stop. I need you for this project. I need you for this project. As I went through these 180, 190 different proposals, I looked at them and I thought, oh my God, they're doing the same thing over here. They're doing the same thing over here. This is the same thing. It's just for a different project. But if we could start creating more of these opportunities for us to get together, to make these connections and start working together. Idea Scale, Project Catalyst, this is the idea behind it, that we reach the highest in human collaboration by coming together. It has scaled so big, and the impact proposals are scattered. We're scattered in the wind like dandelion seeds, and we're not finding each other. So hopefully we'll be able to do that more.
But we are not scattered anymore. Now we are on a leaf.
No, we're getting caught like those dandelions that get caught in a mesh. We've set up a mesh, a fine mesh, to catch all those dandelion seeds all into one place. So it's,
and we will try to do the next one. We'll try to do that. It's getting automatically into the database, but that's
more AI, less Melanie doing the manual copy and paste. Newman taught me something yesterday that would have saved me hours if I had known it in advance. But this is the case. I do these things because I don't know better, because I didn't have that advice from Newman. Newman and I get together, I show him what I'm doing, and it's like, oh, Melanie, did you know that there's a couple shortcuts on your keyboard that will do this copy and paste from your screenshot? And it's like, wow, knowing these things will make our work faster and more impactful sooner. So thanks, Sean. Awesome that you could come. Yes, anyways, we do have the Oracle. And these are, I just copied and pasted some slides from the deck. Newman, if you want to share them again, we can see how it goes.
The Oracle.
And this comes, Scott Poynton right there. Man, you have to meet this fellow in person or virtually to know what an impressive individual he is. Yoram knows him better, and I think I'm privileged to know him as well. Very humble man, incredible impact.
Yeah, I'm going to throw here, just to hear him speak, I'm going to throw you a video link about him talking.
Perfect.
presenting the Ghana project. Yeah, I'm privileged to work with him, and I will present one. I mean, we have few proposals together, but I will present actually one now just for time's sake, which is very, very exciting for me. And it's basically, we manage, we're a couple of group of people working on agricultural supply chains, and we managed to onboard a researcher, scientific researchers working on satellite technology. And I don't know if anyone knows, but the satellite technology, one of the key challenges with them that to get synchronized, calibrated, ongoing satellite images is very, very expensive today. And this is why most of the satellite applications are project-based. And the guy we're working with basically managed to take free satellite images from multiple locations and for multiple satellites, and basically put them together into basically able to create super resolution images, eliminating cloud effect, which is very important in many places, and basically have a raw data on an ongoing basis, including 10 years history, that can be applied basically as a base to build application on top of them. For example, imagine that we can, simple example, imagine that with the data we can check and map all the forest conservation project or tree planting project and see what happened in the last 10 years, right, in these projects. And based on that, we can say, okay, all the resources that were done, if they were actually were done in an efficient way, or there are some challenges with the project, right? So imagine that we can do it for a cheap price, right? Not to spend whatever verification amount that we need to spend of tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this is one example. And another example is obviously on agricultural supply chains, where we can actually check the the earth's health, and we can actually monitor. The next slide is actually a cool one. No.
So I'm sorry, I'm trying to.
This one.
And I'm confusing Newman. So there is the list of proposals from Earth Trust. If you wanted to go through each one of those briefly, Yoram, or we go through this video, which is really, really cool. What your choice?
I think go through the video. I want to focus now on Yosef, and yeah, maybe go through the video of Yosef, because I think I tell you why I'm so excited about that. I mean, working with agricultural supply chain is very, very complex and takes a lot of time, right? I mean, it's not that in magic you make an impact on the ground, but satellite technology could motivate impact at scale, right, and fast. And then it will be directed on the ground. I mean, you cannot work on silos. Then we need to have on the ground people to connect with the result, to work on with the teams. But that just can provide us a layer of scale that this transparency, no one can eventually be, can run out of it. So for me, this is why it's so important. And yeah, let's see Yosef speaking for a minute.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Yosef, and I would like to present our environmental.
No, it's just a little picture because it's a Zoom, a Loom link. Newman, just play it and it'll be okay.
My name is Yosef, and I would like to present our environmental Oracle project. One of the biggest challenges with environmental restoration projects is to monitor and validate their impact. Validation usually relies on a manual inspection, which is time-consuming, expensive, and not very reliable. On the other hand, finding environmental data, such as satellite imaging, required for automated monitoring is very technologically complicated and can be also very expensive. Environmental Oracle is aimed to solve this problem. We are going to develop a system that will allow global, low-cost access to enhanced and systematized environmental data comprising high-resolution satellite imaging and climate data in one source, essentially everything you need to monitor environmental project, big or small. The resultant consolidated source of environmental data will be deployed on Cardano blockchain and will be made available through a standardized, simple API, which will significantly streamline and simplify access to such data for developers of environmental monitoring and validation applications. We believe that our system will dramatically improve the transparency, efficiency, and accountability of environmental projects, and thus it will bring ever more resources for this critical activity. Thank you for your attention.
So I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that could use this technology. What do you think? This is pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. And Yosef is already using it, by the way, in this technology has already been used in a company called digifarm.io. While using this technology, digifarm.io, we're using this technology is able basically to create probably the most accurate agriculture field boundaries today. Even more accurate than whatever other companies, Google or whatever you look out there. So really, really accurate, especially for small farm holders, which is a key area. So which are also coming to Cardano blockchain, and we are doing land registry and all of that stuff with that.
From my understanding, this is like NASA level technology that's coming to the ground. That's becoming available for us to use. Is that correct?
So the breakthrough that Yosef was managed to do, so what's happened, the European Space Agency give free images, but the quality of them are not good. And by the way, they give it every 5 days, okay, like Epoch on the blockchain. But the quality of the images is not sufficient to actually make super resolution images out of that. And then there is cloud. There are some areas that have a lot of clouds, and you cannot really then analyze on a continuous calibrated way. And Yosef managed to really break through technology and managed to solve these issues. I mean, in many years, he worked on it for over 10 years, and I mean, it's many years of work and a lot of funding. And he managed to solve these two issues, or show that he is able to solve them, and is now deploying it into different applications. So I was working with Yosef on it a couple of years ago. How can we apply it for regenerative agriculture practices? Because with satellite technology, even after you have the images, depends where you want to use it for. Each use case is very complex. You need AI. It's not that easy, especially for agriculture. And yeah, now we are focusing to put all the data on the Cardano blockchain and kind of helping it with the API to build different applications, right? For microfinance, for stability of supply chain, the stability of different events. So yeah, it's quite incredible. I mean, if we're able to do that, for me, it's a game changer.
So the group of proposals, if you could just possibly go back a couple slides, Newman. Sure. This is Earth Trust, Scott Point in connection with Yosef. Yeah, there we are. So there's a bunch of them there that are connected. This is another challenge that we have in presenting these. Do we do it alphabetical order? Do we do it by fund? Do we do it by proposal? So we have these different challenges within the challenge, and I'm sorry to make this all about the list, but we could use some help figuring this out, because they get scattered and we lose this. We also lose the information, the importance of these proposals in amongst other ones.
Yeah, so they're all connected and they're all focusing on verification. And yeah, please, Dan.
Maybe, this would require a bit of participation, but maybe it's complicated, but just have it all the proposals thrown on a mirror board. Each proposal has their own color. I don't even know if that's possible because there's so many proposals. Or let's say they're their own sign or something. And they can put their own sign on other proposals that they feel associated to. And then you group them, and then you have groups, and then you just raffle which group is first and which groups comes after, and so on and so forth.
We were thinking of doing a mural board experiment. today, actually, Dan, and I think we're going to do it next week. Something like this, because you can imagine 190 proposals. This is carbon, this is algae. What if you and Dylan were never connected, at some point or another? Now we can connect you, the carbon drawdown in this, the food, the social impact, these different things. There's so many different ways we can connect. So if we can do a Miro board experiment for next week, that would be amazing. Help us organize this. And then this is the first iteration. Next fund, we know this is coming over and over again. We'll get better at it. The sooner we get people connected, the better.
Can you create a DWork task for this? Because I always wanted to try DWork, and then this might give me the necessary motivation, because then it's two things.
Yeah, that's amazing. This is absolutely perfect. Can you connect with Newman? You can make the task what you want it to be, and Newman can word it.
Yeah,
it sounds like an insider trading job, but what is this task? What are you going to do? Make it easy for us, because it's less top down that way, less of us telling you what to do, but say what you want to do, what you envision this to be, and we can create a bounty around that. Does that make sense? Oh, you're on mute.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a paid bounty. I just wanted to
Gimbals.
use DWork once for something.
We have gimbals to give, and it's a way of recognizing contribution. So this is
nice
for that. Okay.
Okay, that'd be great. I'll connect with you, Dan.
And I will give good amount of gimbals for that, Melanie. I mean, it's very important job. So I will really, we'll really appreciate your help.
Newman and I were thinking about trying to do that, to set it up, and it's like, I don't have enough time in the day to do this. So this is what it's about. Having other people jump in and help. So Newman, if we can go to the slides, we are at half past, or the bottom of the hour, and town hall, the big town hall for Robert and Mohammed, if he's still here, happens in half an hour. So keep going down the slides. We have just an action plan of what people need to do in the next little bit. Sign up to present your proposal if you can. It kind of helps us get a heads up on what's coming. If not, we just wing it like this, and we can work with that too. The link, we can drop that in the chat. And the next one is all the different events to support your proposals.
Yep, and we talked about these earlier, but here are all the links, and we do share this slide deck, so you'll be able to link directly from here.
I don't know if we've shared this one, but I think that if you save the chat, they will be in there. So
okay.
And next slide. So this is kind of like when Danny keeps telling you to save your QR code for voting, get on the list. Just a reminder to do this. How do you get noticed with 1,200 or 1,100 proposals across 13 challenges and idea scale? This is what we're attempting to do. Conma's taken the list and they're working with it. Lido Nation is working with this list. This is important. Next slide. This is the list. We have a couple different versions of it. One we're going to work on today, if people can stay around for an experiment we have. Next slide. The action plan is AIM tools. Add your proposal to this list if for some reason we've missed it. You can also, if you've got a little Loom, links or other documents, you can send them as well through that proposal submission form. Next slide. So we have just a quick heads up for the other things going on in Catalyst. Different town halls throughout different time zones, different focuses. Sean, who was here earlier, has a meetup on Thursdays I can't remember what time. I think it's 4 p.m. UTC. He gets together and does some really cool stuff if you're interested in coding and things that he's doing with Open Letter Map. Next slide, we have Little Fish Foundation. They meet on Mondays, 7 p.m. UTC. Really incredible group. If you can jump in there, they are doing some amazing things. Thanks, Tom. See you later. And Tom, who's leaving right now, Cardano for Seniors is doing an after town hall breakout room, which will probably happen at 4 or 5, about 6 p.m. UTC, I think, today, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's 5 p.m. I think.
Well, that's 5 p.m.
Yeah.
is the town hall, but the after town
Yeah.
hall happens about 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So if you want to hang around, I have a little bit of an ask and a challenge for us to do with this list. Next slide, please. So the goal of the list to begin with is to collect information on Project Catalyst Fund 9 proposals related to social and environmental impact, strengthen connections within the Catalyst community, develop collaborations, and promote these proposals to voters to create ultimately impact and projects built on the Cardano blockchain. We've collected them into a database. So next slide, please. The form, in its first few iterations, we collected information, we've added new stuff. We've got the challenge, the proposal name, the link, the problem statement, the solution. Next slide. We're taking this and what it is, it's community has submitted their proposals, unvetted, and I've gone through, Yoram's gone through, and anybody else can submit proposals that they think are. But as a community, we haven't decided for sure that they are a social, environment, or both. A proposal related to impact. So this is where we need help going through these proposals, checking this off, confirming that yes, this is it. Next slide, please. Because then we hope to put in our presentation, not only in that Excel sheet, in our presentation, it'll change from this kind of a slide, next slide, please, to something like this, where a voter can go through and see an image, says, okay, I understand this is it's vetted by the Cardano for Climate community. It has social, environmental, it has both impacts. And besides, this particular challenge that we put in is big. It's a Cardano for Climate challenge on regeneration and opportunity for Cardano, where we do exactly what we're doing, where we create collaborations, where we have verifiable impact somehow through one challenge. So next slide, please. The other list that we have is a Word document where we have everything from the Excel sheet in this dry sheet. Once it's all figured out, next slide, please, we can format it and get all that information out to people, and then they can choose. We've got 3 different formats: the Excel sheet, the slide deck, and the document to create. And then we'll also use the AIM tool to create a voter pick list coming up. So this can't happen a week before voting. We're working on it now. Yoram, do you have anything else to add?
No, great.
Great. Okay,
Nothing for
good.
me.
Next slide, please. Any other questions, feedback? Like, what the heck are you trying to do, Melanie?
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, it's great to have Brian here, and Bruno and Robert. Thank you for, coming and joining us today as well. Really great having you guys here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Please, Brian.
Oh
And Dan,
yeah.
obviously, yeah.
Thanks for having me. It was actually a really great experience. I'm glad I was able to come. So to help filter through that sheet, what would like 6.1 do for that? Like, how would we help, or how can we apply to help?
Well,
So next slide, Newman, if you don't mind. We don't know what we're doing. I'm going to be right up honest on this one. I'm doing this stuff as best I can with the limited knowledge that I have. If we can figure this out, make it streamlined, get more people working on it, collaborating on this, we can get this done and start presenting it. I'd love to have this slide deck set up to send out a finished link with all those Excels, the list that other people can go through and say, yeah, this is my list. And then we bring everything off of that hidden in idea scale into one place and make sense of it. Raz added this donut economy, and maybe this gives us an idea of how we can figure out if we're impacting environment or social. We're open to ideas. So the plan was yesterday and the day before is that we go through the different sides, like we have Little Fish coming up. If you slip through this, nah, I'm going to leave that because we're getting late, 20 minutes to the hour.
Yeah. But the idea is that and I think that little vignette or that little anecdote about sort of watching someone else work and then seeing and saying, oh, you have this long spreadsheet, I can do this. I have this thing for working with big sheets of data or collaborative, group.
Good idea, Newman. You know what? I'm going to share my screen. If you don't mind, I'll share my screen and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll show you this is what I would end up doing. And I think that you're going to be able to see me go through this list, and we'll send you you can see the Excel sheet right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I would do is go through, okay, I see that these have probably been vetted on the side, and I'm going to lock these. This is really kind of scary for me, but because I'm doing stuff that I've just learned in the last 6 months. I knew about Excel sheets, Google Docs.
I will, while you collect your thought, I will say that this work, going through a ton of proposals, gathering community information and feedback, is the work of D-reps. It really, I think, dovetails in with this next phase of Catalyst. And Brian or Robert, if you don't know, there's a push for this delegate or what does the D and D-rep stand for? It's delegate representation. It's a form of liquid democracy, and it's what we're moving towards. So the work, Melanie, that you're doing is really important, and it's sort of focused on not just what we as C4C do, but for this new role for the D-rep. And so, yeah, if you have skills working with this type of data or this type of thing, it really can be a benefit and a very useful skill.
So right now, sometimes we have the same proposer has two proposals, as in this case, digital twin platform, certification and traceability fund. Digital twin platform, I put in possibly I put it in because I looked up the proposer and found out they had another one. Sometimes I go into the proposer on idea scale and I see who they are giving kudos to, because they're reading information about proposals, and I check and see if it's on the list. So I've gone from the Excel sheet, I'm checking digital twin platform right now. Is it a environmental, social, or both impact at all? And I could go to the idea scale link, get lost in there for a few hours. I've got a slide here that can show me the problem, the solution. And Yoram, you made a point about this, direct and indirect social impact. Does the proposal actually say they are setting out to have a social or environmental impact?
Yeah, because indirect, 95% of the proposal will have indirect impact because of the nature of the blockchain technology, right? I mean, if we are doing something that is more accessible, more decentralized, and so a lot of the proposal will have, and we, with sustainable ADA, we do different research about that every fund. And but here we wanted to show projects that directly wanted to, identify projects that directly had intention, social and environmental intention in the proposal, right? Solving carbon issues.
So in this case, it says the problem is blockchain improves supply chain traceability and transparency, and keep mutable records. Current solutions come with high costs, high complexity of deployment and development. We develop a web platform that generates item level digital twins based on tokens for end-to-end traceability, free to use, take only a few minutes to set up, and is open source. In my mind, open source to me is impact.
It's not only open source, they have direct traceability that they want to create, right?
So in this case, social and environmental impact, social or environment, or both?
So this is a tricky one, right? I mean, if you look on agriculture supply chain, they are so connected, interconnected. I mean, it's really interconnected. I mean, it's not that people want to be not environmental. They just, need to cut the tree because they need to earn some money to live sometime, right? So it's really connected in many cases. Yeah.
I would say both. Yeah.
So it would be both. And is it direct or indirect impact?
For me, it's direct impact. I mean.
Okay, I'm just waiting for this slide to update. So I think we can agree. I do agree on this one too. And we're going to put in this document, it's both. And then
because it allows for this lower environmental impact by making a supply chain more efficient, and social impact because it allows the consumer or the other stakeholders to verify and be transparent about how the supply chain is operating. That's sort of the rationale.
So this is what I see happening. I'm just going to change. I'll do this afterwards. Normally, if I cut and paste this, it would show up in the center in the right spot on the slide. It makes it a little bit easy. So this is what I would like, what I see, what I envision this happening. If it's a high impact, 100% impact, great, dark. If it's lower impact or indirect, we just copy and paste the lighter ones. If it just happens to be one or the other, you just copy and you go into this next slide. And this is what I do. This is what I'll end up doing. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to fix up the formatting and make this perfect so that we can present this to the public. So that's the process that I do for now. How can we make it better? And what do we want to do with this? Anybody?
Well, I mean, it's. I think that's a great way to do it. It's. I will tell you a little anecdote about the design of it. I think it was the guy that invented the handheld computer, the Palm Pilot, that every one of us has. He walked around with a piece of wood. He's just like, it was about this size. He's like, it should fit in your hand like this piece of wood. And so, we just start where we are. He had access to wood and he wanted to show his thing. So that in mind, yes, I think that's a great. If we show the impact by the gradient of saturation of the icons, yeah, that's a great way to do it. But the idea is that we are making judgments or grading or trying to work with these proposals will help us individually, will help the community as we do it together, and then will help anyone that watches, and we create an artifact that can help the wider community. Yeah.
So the idea is for next fund also, as we mentioned, is to integrate that into the proposal process, right? So proposals themselves can, when they are filling up the proposal, they will say, we directly have intention for impact, social, environmental, or both. And that's something that we need to work together. I mean, already at the last fund, I don't know if anyone did the onboarding, a lot of the questions that came from us on the onboarding process. So now we want to integrate it also to the proposal process. Like we integrated, by the way, the SDGs, the proposal process is also initiated by us. So
isn't it simple? So what happened with this list was that Yoram probably found another 50 to 60 proposals. I went and did hunting like a maniac through IdeaScale and found another 60, 100 proposals. And then a lot of them were submitted by the community. So how do we sort these in? And I don't want to burden people with this, but
yeah. So next time, hopefully we'll have it automated. That's the objective.
Yes. So then we don't have to catch up afterwards. So I have a link for the Excel sheet. Should you choose to work on that, please feel free to go through those proposals. The other thing that I see in doing this exercise is you start connecting with those proposals, right? There's a list. Wow, I'm really excited about this one that has the solar panel logo on it. Brian, I think through yours, through a rabbit trail through your proposal with Gaia, I ended up coming across some other really cool proposals. And it's like, oh, this is an adventure. And if we can get some little work that helps the community, that'd be amazing. So take those and have some fun with it. If you work on it, I'm going to drop in the main Telegram chat. I think everybody has that. That's sort of where we're doing the most communication. Just say, I'm working on this list. What do I do? Help me, Melanie, and then I'll direct message you. So anything else?
No,
I want to share
10 minutes.
Share some
please.
appreciation. Say thank you. It was really great. It was really great to get the feedback, especially about all of this stuff that's going on. It's really wonderful. It's really wonderful.
And Robert, I really hope that we haven't overwhelmed you with all this. I just think about when I first got into IdeaScale and Project Catalyst and this hunting and where's the links, where's the next meeting? It's overwhelming. And what we've done is kind of tried to figure out all those links, and then we just blast them at you all at once. So.
No worries, I'm here to learn, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. So thank you very much.
Yeah, well, it'll hopefully save you a little bit of time of hunting. We've been at this now it's coming up to a year, 12 months that Cardano for Climate first started. And I think we're finding our way, through the wilderness, and hopefully it's working.
Feels like it.
Anything
all right.
else? And thank you all for being here. Brian, I'm so glad you showed up. And Dan, Bruno, always nice to have you here. Didn't really give you a chance to talk. And George calling in, Simon being here doing the recording. Thank you for that. Yoram always here, Newman, and
Melanie.
And me.
Melanie.
That's good. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so thanks for being here.
Thank you, everyone.
George.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Gorgeous. Bye-bye.